Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Economics of Things, where we talk about business and how to succeed in business. Okay, so today we're talking about networking events, professional networking events, that's right. So the question is, why do so many people not like them? You know, I was just talking to the president of a division of a major company just last week, and she said, I hate networking events. They're so uncomfortable and you're going around trying to talk to all these people. You may have been in the same situation, right? I mean, you walk into a room and it's crowded and it looks like everyone knows each other but you. How awkward and sometimes intimidating is that? Okay, well, we're going to talk about 7 tips today to make that networking event more fun and more productive for you. Okay, tip number 1 is arrive there early. It's very intimidating walking to a big crowd where the room's already full, everyone's already in conversation, so arrive there early. It's a lot easier to start talking to people and start the conversation. Number 2, get there and start talking to everyone. Don't forget to talk to the organizers of the event, the wait staff, the bartender. You will find that even just a little comment to one of them or a laugh with one of them makes you feel at ease, makes you feel more like you own the room and that you are part of this network and this group. Number 3, if you can, find out who the attendee lists are before you go to a networking event, and then make a list of 3 people that you'd like to talk to. Maybe it's 3 people from a certain company or from a certain industry. You can look them up on the internet, on LinkedIn, you find what they look like, you know what their face looks like, and then you can make the networking event more productive for you by seeking those out. A lot of times people go to a networking event, they go somewhere, they just talk to the 3 people that happen to be at the table or the bar next to them, and maybe those people really aren't who they should be talking to. Maybe they're in a completely different industry or different segment. And number 4, if you can, go with someone you know. Go with a colleague, go with a friend in the industry. That'll make you more comfortable and open more doors. Of course, the downside of that, you don't want to just talk to that person or that person's friend the whole time, but it's very easy when you have someone with you, and then you can make the introduction to people, or they can introduce you to people. Number 5, make introductions. If you're talking to someone for a minute or 2 and you're talking with them and somebody else comes along, you can say, oh, hey, I'd like to introduce you to Bob or Mary. You may have just met them, but you already know now their name and their industry. And once you make an introduction for people, you are the center of the power. You are the person bringing people together. It makes it more fun for you. You don't really have to put yourself out there that much. And you are giving more of that positive energy towards you. Number 6, and this goes along with the other ones, is know how to work the circle, right? So when go to a networking event, the biggest thing is these circles. You look across and there's 5, 10 different circles of people. What do? Okay, there's 2 things to do. 1, if you're already in a circle, it's really good. You can talk to people. Somebody says something, somebody's talking too long, maybe. You turn to someone else in the circle and say, what do you think about that? And you can get that going. And then you are really one of the key people of the circle. The other thing is, don't forget to open up the circle. You see out the side of your eyes, there could be someone there who seems awkward. Do them a favor too. Maybe open up the circle and say, oh, what's your name? Or, oh, we're talking about the pharmaceutical industry. Do you work in that industry? So learn how to own that circle and open that circle. Now, the other thing, which is harder than, is how do you enter a circle? Especially if it's a circle where maybe you see there's some people you want to talk to because they are in a certain industry or they are in a position of power and you want to talk to them before you leave the networking event. You want to make the networking event be of use to you. So one thing you can do is read the body language. See what people are saying, maybe when people are getting bored or when people have a lull in the conversation. 2, look for an opening. Sometimes people may go and grab their drink. That's a good place to just come up towards a group and just have a go-to phrase or question that you'll use. That's it's not intimidating. It doesn't make you seem like you're just busting your way in. It could be, oh, are you all talking about artificial intelligence too? Because that seems to be what a lot of people are talking about. Or it could just be, oh, hi, state your name, something like that. But having something that you know could open up that circle as soon as you see a little bit of lull in conversation or someone maybe dropping their hands or opening up the circle, grabbing their drink, that's a great way and a great time to enter that circle. Okay, number 7, and this is also an important one, sometimes overlooked, how to leave. So one thing about a networking event, it may help you to box in the time you're going to spend there. Maybe you say, okay, I'm going to be there 1 hour. That does two things. One, if you're a little bit shy about going there, it forces you to spend the time, because you never know when there might be an opportunity. You don't want to leave too early. Number 2 is it also forces you to say, okay, I'm only going to be here an hour, I'm going to make the most of that time. But when do you leave, and then when do you leave a conversation? So it's always that awkward part, right? You start talking to someone, what's your name? Oh, what's your industry? You share a little bit about each other, and then you may find, okay, I like you, you're a nice person, but there's not really much on a business setting or anything else that we can do. So you want to make as much use of your time as you're there. So one good thing whenever you're talking to someone is make sure you listen to them, but a good out is you could say, that's really interesting. That's interesting, or comment something, repeat back to them. And then you could say one of two things. You could say, one is, yeah, it was very nice to meet you. You gave me a lot to think about, or you gave me some information that I had never considered before. Nice to meet you. That makes them feel good as when you're leaving, as opposed to just saying, yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink over here. So that's one way to leave. Or you could even bump it up a notch and say, yeah, that's very interesting. Hey, it was great to meet you. Let's talk more later. And then you move on to another group. And then that makes them think that, yeah, this person's interested. Of course, you don't want to say that if you're really not going to, or not interested in talking to them later. And then, of course, you could also say, hey, this is very interesting. I'm going to let you walk around, talk to some more people, but could I get your card? Or are you LinkedIn? Can I email you? And so all of those will help make you feel confident about spending the right time in the networking situation, having fun, and making it productive for you. So keep those 7 tips in mind. We'll do more. We'll upload more on economics of things, and talk to you soon.